Today I'm going to tackle this rear end. Should be pretty straightforward, probably not much different than the front. Do have to pull the wheels off, I think, to get to some of the bolts for the inner fender well. But other than that, it should be pretty much the same. Not sure it's worth anything with whatever. Pull it off, see what's underneath. Let's start with the gas door. Looks like there's one bolt for that. Tail light's probably bolted on from the inside somewhere. After that's off, we'll take the trunk lid off and the hinges for that. Piece by piece, coming apart. And these tire shops are fucking high when they do this stuff. Tried breaking out the big boy tools and the air impact. Battery one wouldn't touch it. Air impact wouldn't touch it. Breaker bar wouldn't touch it. Pulled the handle off the jack just to break them loose. Lug nuts were on so damn tight. Luckily none of them broke, but got them all off. Wasn't easy. Definitely something you need to do though is take tire off to get to this stuff, because there's 2 screws back here, a screw there, there's one up under there, there's a nut up there, and screws all along the edge. But I think I got this one loose. Pain in the ass. I missed one somewhere. Another one back there. Got that out. Surprising amount of stuff in here. Not really sure what it's all for yet, but we'll get there. What the hell's this hose for? There's one side off. Pain in the ass. I know it's kind of dark over here, but maybe this will be a good view for you guys. This side's just as tight. If there were any receipts in the glove box from a tire shop or anything, I'd fucking blast them right now. No reason for them to be this tight. got this side off now. Just a bunch of torque screws and one nut. Kind of overkill, but I guess it stays there, so whatever. It's out. I'm going to start taking the body bolts out. You know, back in the old days, it's probably 60, so it's 80 years ago, you used to be able to fill the fuel tank straight pipe from the outside to the tank. Really simple. There's nothing that can go wrong there. When you get to this, and what the fuck? Why do you need all of this to put fuel in right here? What does all this shit do? Anyway, got it all apart. I think there's 40 something bolts holding all that in. And they had it every 6 inches all the way around. A couple underneath here. They would have been much better off making better panels and using less hardware. And the lesson I learned in the front that I didn't remember to do here is disconnect all the wiring and pull all the plugs out before you take the plastic off. Otherwise you're fighting with it while it's hanging. So, got to remember that for the next car. Anyway, it's getting hot, so probably going to save the trunk for another day. Looks like there's only 4 bolts holding the trunk lid on and 4 bolts holding the hinges on, but I don't know where the wires go, and it's not really wanting to get into that today, so I think I'm going to throw the tires back on, clean up a little bit, and be done for the day. So, might take that apart too, just so it's easier to move. Just pull the fenders off the bumper and throw it in the yard. Then I can wash it all and clean it up. So, I'll be back. Got everything cleaned up. Got the wheels back on. What was the thinking behind going with lug nuts or lug bolts instead of nuts? Something else that they should have stuck with. It's much easier just to put the wheels on when the lugs are sticking out. I wonder who thinks of these things. It's like, let's make this shit harder for everybody. I don't get it. But looking less and less like a car. Not much left to do before I take it outside and start stripping the engine parts and computers and get it ready for the scrap pile. I'd like to get the exhaust off, at least the catalytic. Maybe I'll jack it up a bit more and get under there and do that before I take it out. Don't have to be laying in the grass to do it. I do want to get the trunk emptied out. That's all nice and clean and doesn't even look like it's ever been used. The bumper's kind of rusty. I haven't seen much rust on this car. Bumper and the top of the rear shocks have some rust. Other than that, this car is really rust free. Looks like some roadkill leftovers. I already forget what these are for. Something to do with the headlights, but the buckets are what I want, and the retaining rings. I think those are about $100 each. Really not sure about the outside trim. Maybe that was on the fenders, the outer I'll have to look at that. So, yeah, it's getting there. Getting the pile of plastic shit in the back seat. Randomly fell over. Not sure what I'm doing with the top, if anything. Might take the hardware off. And don't know if I can get the back glass out, if that's worth anything. Anyway, we're getting there. I wanted to be done with this in 2 weeks, and that came and went already. It took me 3 hours today to get the rear fenders and the bumper off. I really should switch to power tools one of these days, but just doing everything with a ratchet still. Old school. So, anyway, that's all for this one. See you next time.